Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Topf with the Investing News Network, and I'm here with Joe Grosso. Joe is the President and CEO of Golden Arrow Resources. Joe, nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm always happy to talk about my company.
Okay, so Joe, you have an extensive knowledge of mining in Argentina, and were even named Argentina's Mining Man of the Year in 2005. So what attracted you to Argentina as a mining destination?
What attracted me to Argentina, visiting my family, which I was under pressure for many years to visit. And when I visit my sister-in-law, she was a next door neighbor to the preeminent geologist in Argentina. And of course, the logical question to ask to Mr. Mendes was, what's happening in Argentina in the mining business? He looked kind of dejected and very quickly showed the difference between the hundred of years expansion in Chile with some of the major pines in the world, and Argentina unfortunately had nearly zero mining exploration or discoveries to speak of. That of course was an incredible revelation. Of course, an entrepreneur always looking for opportunity, that was definitely a vision that I wanted to cultivate. And I changed my career going into the mining opportunities in Argentina, and that's my beginning. That's the beginning of our organization.
Okay, great. So let's move the discussion to Golden Arrow Resources. So your flagship property is the Chinchillas silver project. Pretty big deposit, 100 million ounces of silver equivalent in all categories. So can you give us a bit of history in the work you did in arriving at that resource estimate?
I will definitely walk onto your question. Before, I must say that I would like to pay attention to 20 years later, my vision, which is in progress and growing. The geology in Argentina is spectacular, and GRG, Golden Arrow, is the proud owner of 30 projects located along the geology of Argentina, which shares 4,000 plus kilometers with Chile. So the connection and the thing that we are extremely excited in the company is the new Chinchilla discovery, which is the third in line that we have already discovered before up to now. So we are not new to discoveries, and as I mentioned, we have acquired a popularity in Argentina as being honest, a good professional, gaining us an award. Chinchilla is an amazing discovery. It is amazing at the speed at which we have found 100 plus million ounces of silver equivalent, and we are only at the beginning. The beginning have given us the ability to hire professionals like Knight Pitzol to begin the pre-feasibility studies, de-risking if there are any risks, environment or otherwise, and embark towards a pre-feasibility study. Obviously, we are in the process of changing our culture from explorationists only into potential producers.
Okay, right. What's your timeline for developing Chinchillas right now?
We are continuing as we go. At the moment, because the new discovery that we have announced and what we have calls for major attention, we are now making a continued daily change to our operation. We have hired 23 people a couple of days ago to start working on the infrastructure. As I mentioned, we have hired Knight Pitzol to work toward a pre-feasibility study and a model. And we do feel that Chinchilla is a deposit for the times, the modern economic times, with a faster payback due to the mineralization from surface down and open in 4 sides. So we're continually, almost on a daily basis, making arrangement to develop in several directions. Continue our exploration and plan for infill as well as expansion. 2, we are looking at potential production, which would have a very rapid payback in putting it in production. So I hope I've answered your question. What are we doing? Obviously, we look to do another 6,500 meters of exploration to do infill plus expansion within the next 2 quarters.
Okay. So as you know, any junior resource company has to have a decent treasury to fund exploration to take the project to the next level. And you managed to add to your treasury by selling a net smelter royalty in Yamana Gold's Gualcamayo mine. I hope I'm saying that properly. But how did that come about, and what impact did that have on your cash situation?
It was really a management decision. Yamana is managing Gualcamayo, which was one of the first discovery that we had in Argentina, and we was bringing in about $1 million, $1.5 million per year income. Was adequate to look after overhead and smaller expenditures. But when our eyes and our vision was to grow within a time when properties and exploration and so on is very much affordable, we felt that we should monetize the royalty, which brought in approximately $18 million, and we are now spending it in expanding Chinchilla, looking for other opportunities, and without having to have a need for a new raising of funds.
Right, okay. So your website refers to Golden Arrow as a prospect generator. So what are you doing to attract partners that could help fund your projects?
I'm very glad that you asked that question. With the opportunity which we are creating internally in developing the project and looking for a scoping to put it in production, we're also considering the multi-interests which have been expressed at this early stage, many companies which are in the region and outside of the region of Chinchilla, which are in discussion with us right now. And quite frankly, we will do whatever is best for the shareholders, either materialize a sale, a partnership, or we continue on our own as mentioned above.
Okay, and you mentioned in a press release this month that Golden Arrow plans to make some changes to its management team. Should this be of any concern to shareholders right now?
Positive concern,
Okay.
if they plan. We, as I said earlier, that our culture has been strictly in the last 20, 21 years, early stage exploration and project generators. At this point, because of the quality of Chinchilla, the financial strength with this project, we are looking at inserting production culture, people with experience in so this should be a great news for our shareholder rather than a deterrent.
These are difficult times for precious metals explorers and investors. Any advice you can give right now on riding out the current downturn?
Well, I must say that as not only being involved in the mining industry, I'm also an investor. And I recognize that right now we have reached a point when a decision has to be made. I recognize that people in the world are going to be more and not less. The necessities of the natural resources will increase, but it does go through fluctuation. This fluctuation has protracted for about 3 years. my advice to a potential investor is commit a half, see how long the turning point is, and be happy if you can buy on the way up rather than buying on the way down as it's been up to now for the last 3 years. This seems to be the opportune time to select a discounted investment which has cash position, future drilling that doesn't need to be raising any money, and those would be my preference in taking a position if I were to consider an investment, which I think that Golden Arrow should fit to that category.
Yeah, fits those criteria. Yeah. Okay. What are your milestones for the rest of the year for Golden Arrow?
Looking at the budget?
No, just in terms of, you mentioned a pre-feasibility study and some more drilling. What do you plan to do for the rest of the year?
I feel that what I announced before, that we will be doing scoping. We are in the process of applying for an additional drilling permit in new expanded area, which we are very prospective. And as I said, we will hire with the 23 people we have hired to build the infrastructure, talk to the multi-interested party companies which are in conversation with us now, and then go and tell a story, a new story of GRG as one of the company that should be considered by an investor.
Okay.
That's our program for the next 6 months.
Okay. Thank you, Joe, for telling me about your project. It sounds like a very exciting one. I've been Andrew Topf for Investing News Network. Thanks for joining me.